I can definitely tell the difference between this and a 3500 with the 1,000 pound-feet of torque. Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video we're gonna be going over a 2020 Ram 5500 Tradesman with an 84-inch cab to axle. So first and foremost, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram and Sandy for providing us with the 5500. If you're looking to purchase any of these heavy-duty trucks, so a 3500, 4500, or 5500 cab and chassis, then ask for John Durfee here at the Dodge store. Again, I'll include a link to the inventory. Just remember to ask for John Durfee, but let's get to the video. Looking under the hood here, we have the 6.7 liter Cummins turbo diesel that goes through a 6-speed automatic transmission. It is the 6-speed Ison. Power outputs are 360 horsepower and then 800 pound-feet of torque. We'll go over towing capacities when we're at the rear end of the truck. Now going over things on the front end, you're gonna notice it's pretty basic. So you do get the cab lights there at the top, and sorry that it's kind of hard to see, but they are orange when they're on. Halogen headlights for the front with this Tradesman package. You do get tow hooks there at the bottom, no fog lights or anything like that. Like I said, it's pretty basic. You still do get the little air dam there at the bottom, but I mean, other than that, I mean, it's a Tradesman, so the front end's basic. Now coming to the side here, we've got two 25mm tires and 19.5-inch rims in the front and in the rear. If you are going to be doing any serious towing, I would recommend to get a different tire setup on this. But I just want to show you guys the front suspension here, just so you guys can kind of see what that all looks like. You get these gigantic fender flares around the side. This one's got the tow mirrors. And then yes, you got a little certification for the engine. And then notice that yes, it does not have a truck bed because it's a cab and chassis. I will show you guys one that does have a flatbed on it in a moment. But well, there's your full side view on it. Now before I go over the elements in the rear, I just want to quickly talk about towing capacity, and then also I want to talk about the payload. So the towing capacity is 28,750 pounds, and then the payload is about 10,912 pounds. Now a lot of you are going to be commenting, well that's a lot less than like a 3500 with the new 1,000 pound-feet of torque high output diesel, and that's true. These trucks aren't necessarily meant for towing, although they do have great towing capacity. A lot of the times they're just meant to have a massive payload, so you guys can put like a big bed on it, or you can put like a service body. I think there's actually one right over there that you can see kind of peeping out the top. But that's what the biggest importance about this is, that a lot of these are just meant to like haul a bunch of stuff on the bed itself. It's not the greatest tow truck, and yeah, that's it for the towing. Now going over the rest of the rear, you guys will notice that everything is pretty much exposed, and hence the cabin chassis name and all that. But regardless, you can see the diesel exhaust tip. There is no remote start. I did forget to show you guys the key fob, but here's the key fob. It just has a couple buttons and the Ram logo on the back. Nothing special. You guys can see the taillights peeping out the back, and you can hook up the backup camera so that you have like a backup camera view, or you can hook it up to the bed that you put on it. So pretty cool on that. They always put the spare tire right there at the top. It's pretty neat to like see everything like all exposed back here. It's definitely like just a unique look in general on the truck. You notice that you put the DEF over on that side, and then the diesel's all the way back there. It's just, I mean, they're pretty far apart. But yeah, this is everything for the rear on this one. I am going to quickly show you one, though, that already has a bed, so you guys can kind of get an idea of what this truck looks like with a bed. Okay, so first off, this is a regular 3500, and you can see it has a regular bed, so that's what that looks like. And then you got the cabin chassis that has no bed on it, and that's a red one. Now this is what, I guess, a type of bed. This is not necessarily the bed that everyone's going to put on a cabin chassis, but this is a type of bed. Again, this one's a 3500, has a flat bed put on it, but this is one of the options that people will put on these trucks, and just kind of what it looks like. Or like I said, they'll put like a full service body or something. Like they do ambulance conversions on these as well. There's just so many uses for them. But yeah, there's kind of one of them, and here's just, I guess, what it looks like. And yeah, let's head back to our truck. And this one is a crew cab, so here is the back door in the cabin chassis. Notice that this will all be super similar to a Tradesman, so a bunch of really hard touch but very durable materials. And well, getting in is going to be fun. I got to grab on the grab handle up, and well, once you're in, it's pretty good. But yeah, it's kind of difficult to get in. Now notice that you've got these little rubber mats that go all the way across, and it's not a mat, it's actually part of the floor, which is pretty cool. Makes it cleaning up pretty easy. But you got a couple of vents right there. Legroom, just like the other crew cabs, is really good. Headroom as well is solid. I'm 5'11", if you guys don't watch my videos at all. And then one thing I forgot to mention is I got to pop back out. the seat does lift up, so you can pick that up, you get a little bit of extra storage space, a couple cup holders, and well, that's everything for the back. The first thing up front is we do have the trailer mirrors that do flip up, so it does help out with towing quite a bit, and they are manual fold away. Now looking at the door panel here in the front, again, all that hard touch durable material at the front just to make it so that it lasts a lot longer. And then here are the seats. I'm actually really impressed with the seats. They feel really nice to sit in. They definitely feel a lot more upscale compared to like a base model Ford or Chevy like work truck like this. Obviously they're manually adjustable. There's your pedals. Again, you still get the kind of like built-in rubber flooring all throughout. Got the little parking brake down here. Light controls on the side. Steering wheel is manually adjustable. And there's one more look before we pop in. Actually, I did forget to mention one thing. It's the labels. Before you guys give me crap for the labels, here is the first little label if you want to freeze the frame on that one. And then here is the second label. Notice that, yeah, you got that writing on it. Again, you can freeze the frame if you want to read all that. And then the third label, which also says incomplete vehicle, and then all the information over there on the other side. You actually do get a push button, so you just have to press that. It'll do the diesel preheat if it's cold outside, but it's about 50-ish, almost 60 degrees outside, so pretty much just starts right up. And yeah, here is a look at the steering wheel on the 5500. You got cruise control on this side. You can manually shift the gears with that 6-speed automatic if you'd like with that side. Over here is a control, so center stack, your voice command, phone controls. They do a little bit grippier leather here on the side, and then the rest is kind of just like harder touch, but at least it's grippy on that little part. It does have a little column shifter to actually go into the different gears, which, yeah, you got to kind of muscle through it just a little bit. And then the stock for the turn signal, and then also the windshield wipers is over on that side, and that's everything for the steering wheel. Now here is the little center gauge cluster. You've got RPMs over on the left side. On the right side, you've got the speed, and then notice that it has a little message thing right there in the center. That's basically just give you different bits of information on it. You can have it be a speedo, or you can just scroll through a couple different menus. You can see, like, you can see fuel economy, for example, but this truck only has 69 miles on it, so yeah, we don't have a really accurate fuel economy, but that is at least a little center stack. Now here is the radio infotainment system, and something you're going to notice is because this truck is not complete, the camera system isn't hooked up, so no backup camera, but it does have the camera with it. It's federally mandated for all cars that are 2018 or newer. I believe it's 2017 or 2018, I can't remember which year, but regardless, you have little controls on the sides for the radio, and then this is kind of like a little mini touchscreen as well, but I mean, it's the most basic infotainment system for a basic work truck. And I forgot to mention, there's a little 12 volt up here, so you can charge stuff. Right here, we do have the stability control and little hazard lights. It is a single zone climate, which I mean, you'd expect in a truck like this. You have your auxiliary buttons down here if you do want to add stuff, so like if you wanted to add a snow plow, extra lights, any of that kind of stuff onto it, or if you had auxiliary items with the bed in the rear. That's the diesel exhaust brake. That's your tow haul modes. Trailer brakes already integrated. This is the driveline select, so you get your 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel high, 4-wheel low, true neutral. And I have a question for you guys. This truck has 6 wheels, so when you're in 2-wheel drive, is it 2-wheel drive or technically 4-wheel drive? And then also, is this technically 4-wheel drive or is it 6-wheel drive? All jokes aside, you get a couple more little USBs and auxiliary ports in here, some extra storage, and then you do have the center console, which, opening that up, it's just like all the other bench seat center consoles. Almost knocked my backpack off. Cup holders here at the top. You can lift this up, and then there is not any storage space under, since this is a tradesman, but you do get that little kind of like platform. The top part of the glove box is open, and then the bottom part is a regular glove box. Now just a quick look at the top. You get these regular little lights here at the top, and then there is no power sliding window. It's fixed rear glass. No sunroof. I mean, you don't expect a sunroof in a truck like this anyways, so yeah, that's the top. Well, let's quickly go over pricing on this bare bones interior tradesman 5500. So this tradesman 5500 stickers for about $61,000 before any type of market adjustment. That all being said, though, let's take it out and see how it drives. And I don't think I've ever driven a cab. No, I have driven a cabin chassis, so I kind of have an idea of how it drives. Let Let me quickly show you guys visibility here in the 5500 before we set off. So there is your visibility over the hood, which is actually really good. It's just like any other Ram heavy duty. There's your visibility through the mirrors, which your mirrors are gigantic, so they show you everything. And then here's visibility through the rear. The one thing I do need to mention is because this one doesn't have a bed, it is a little bit harder to tell like how wide the truck actually is, because if you have the mirrors tilted where I have them tilted, you can't actually see the bottom part. So I guess just kind of take that into account, but it's really not that bad at all. Let's set off. I'm setting off here in the 2020 Ram 5500. Again, this is an 84-inch cab to axle. And the first thing I'm noticing is this is super rough. Like, it is, oh my gosh. I think you guys can probably see that in the camera, hear that in the camera. It is a rough riding truck. Now, I actually did sell quite a few of these when I worked at the Ram store. Not quite a few, but a few. And what the owners would tell me is that once you actually get like weight on this or a bed on this, it does smooth out the ride quite a bit. But yeah, unloaded, it is probably one of the most uncomfortable vehicles you could drive. Like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna need like spinal reconstruction surgery after this review. But other than that, the steering is normal truck vagueness. It's not any more, any less vague than a normal truck. And it's super light, like really, really light. It's not precise, but I mean, you have to put like no effort. In terms of how big this truck feels, it really doesn't feel that big. Like, I don't feel like I'm driving like a monstrosity or anything like that. I don't feel uncomfortable driving the truck. It's just that it's really uncomfortable to drive from a ride quality perspective. Getting like a little acceleration here, it's pretty decent with getting up and moving. Now I am going to get like a full-blown acceleration up here in just a moment, and we'll see if it does just a little bit better with this 6-speed automatic. And I hope you guys can see that Fiata. Okay, see how this goes. Yeah, I can definitely tell the difference between this and a 3500 with the 1,000 pound-feet of torque, just a regular dually. This doesn't feel as peppy. It doesn't feel strong. It doesn't even feel as strong as like a 2500. It has less horsepower and less torque than even a 2500, and you can definitely tell like this truck just, it doesn't feel fast. And that'll actually lead me into summing things up with this truck. I used to see people like looking into these trucks and going, oh, I need to get this truck. And for most people, this is probably not going to be the truck you want to get if you're not going to be using the bed use, right? You're not going to be putting a flatbed on it or a service body on it. And more importantly, just depending on what you're going to be using it for will determine if you actually need this truck. For most people, like a regular 2500 diesel is enough truck. A 3500 dually diesel is so much truck. I mean, again, for most people, that should definitely get the job done. This is a very unique truck. And, you know, I can understand, like, if you're in construction, again, if you're gonna do a service body on it, there's a lot of uses for this truck. But for the majority of buyers, this is probably not gonna be the truck you're going for. So, like, if you're just getting like a normal day-to-day truck, this is most likely, not 100%, but most likely not the truck you'll be looking into. But I mean, there's still so many uses for it. And there we have it, everyone, the 2020 Ram 5500 cab and chassis. Again, a huge shout out and thank you to the Dodge Ram here in Sandy. And again, if you're looking into purchasing one of these, definitely contact John Durfee. I'll include a link to the inventory, but just ask for him by name if you're gonna be basically purchasing one of these crazy trucks. I'll see all of you guys in the next video.